Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new Let's Paint Some Minis video. Today I am going to paint up a troll, a zombie troll, for the Dungeon Saga game that I've recently come back to playing. I started playing it again because Dungeon Saga Origins just finished a Kickstarter a few weeks back, and I really like the game. It can be played solo, it can be played cooperative, and you can also play it where you have what they call an overlord, which is kind of like the GM. And so what I'm going to be doing today is painting up some of the minis that I never really got around to painting when I first started playing the game. And one of them is this zombie troll holding a large stone over his head. It's just a really nice mini, and while I'm painting it, for those of you who are familiar with my painting videos, you know that I typically pick a subject to talk about. Well, today's subject is more of a thank you, and I'm going to tell you what I have to be thankful about and why I'm thanking you, my viewers, readers, supporters, what have you. So let me go ahead and get started on that. And what I first want to tell you is some of the changes that I've been able to do probably in the last year or so. Whether you know this or not, I began publishing zines. One in particular called Delver. I began publishing Delver just over a year ago. It's currently, I just kickstarted issue number 8. It's 6 a year, so I did 1 year and now I'm 2 in. And Delver is an OSR magazine. I started writing it for the OSE, Old School Essentials game, but really it's for any OSE game that you play. And even 5e players or GMs can take the content and modify it. That's what I do a lot of. Is I tend to take adventures and I just modify them and run them as old school games. It's not that hard once you've done a couple of them, but definitely something to consider. Well, the reason I'm telling you this is I started publishing Delver, and it was originally going to be I intended it to be a one-off because I really didn't think it was going to. I just figured I'd do one, and that would be that. And so, interestingly enough, it has become fairly popular. It consistently does about 400 copies every 2 months for me. And what Delver has allowed me to do is, now I work for myself and I have a small business. I have a lasering business, and the lasering business is doing well. It's doing well enough that at some point in the near future, I'm probably going to have to make some hard decisions, and they are going to be hard decisions. But for right now, I have really 2 major gigs going on. One is the laser business, and the other one is the zine writing business. And after Delver 1 came out, I did have people asking me, hey, is there going to be a follow-up? And I said, well, I'll make a number 2. I really did think that number 2 was probably going to fall in number of backers, but instead it actually went up, which, was a pleasant surprise. And number 3 went up, and it sort of has leveled off at about 400 issues. Now, I do sell reprints on my online store, and at this point, reprints of certain issues have pretty much caught up. What's the word I'm looking for? The number of reprints I've sold has almost matched the number that were originally backed. And so what's interesting about this is it is allowing me to do some really interesting things with my time. Now, if you take a 40-hour work week, and I'll be honest, some weeks I work 30 hours, some weeks I work 50, 60 hours. During the holidays, especially like November and December, my laser business pretty much keeps me, it just keeps me busy, busy, busy. I hardly have time to do much else. And that's a good thing, but for 2 months, I was working pretty much around the clock, unable to take breaks. I was still doing Delver and some other stuff, but it was crazy. I could not catch a break. And so what Delver and my laser business have allowed me to do is basically do what I want for a living, which is make stuff and write stuff. And it's a dream job. And I'm very grateful to my readers and my backers because their support has allowed me to do that. Not many people, I don't know, I'm not even going to guess, but I suspect that not many people get to do, for a living, something they actually just wake up and enjoy doing. I used to dread Mondays, just like anybody else. I hated getting up on Monday and driving into the office and doing, I worked in technology for many years, and then I was a tech writer for many years. The tech writing was fun, but after a while it got old. And I'm like many of you, Mondays were not my favorite days. But somewhere along the line, I realized that I had reached a point where I didn't dread getting up on Mondays. I actually enjoyed getting up and firing up the laser or turning on my computer and creating something new for my readers. And I decided probably about 6 months ago that I was going to make a run of this. I was going to try and turn my hobbies into a job. Dedicate 40 or more hours a week to my zines and the laser business. And probably about 4 months ago, I crossed a point where I realized that yes, I am now doing what I want to do, enjoying it, making a salary, able to pay myself a reasonable salary, and I don't dread getting up in the mornings. I enjoy getting up and doing things. Now, I'm not even counting the income I'm getting from like videos, which isn't much. YouTube, I'm not making a whole lot from YouTube, but I am making more than I used to. And again, that's all in thanks to my viewers who support what I do. I don't know if YouTube is going to ever peter out for me or pan out for me where I make a lot of money off of it, and that's not why I do it. I am traditionally a tech writer. I told you I was trained as a writer and an engineer, and it's second nature for me to want to share the things I make and do. I document everything. I mean, I really do. If I'm painting something, I'm documenting it. If I make something, I'm documenting it. It's either video or written down. And it's I guess I'm just kind of lucky in the sense that that lends itself a lot to YouTube. I mean, if I'm gonna video my stuff, I can share it, and if I make a little money off of it, great. If I don't make any money off of it, that's okay. It's just a nice extra little amount of income coming in. So YouTube, zines, and the laser business are keeping me busy. Definitely keeping me busy, and it's allowing me to ponder on new ideas. So recently I started a newsletter, and if you're not subscribed to it, it's free. Please do. I used to make this thing called the Supply Sourcebook, RPG and Wargame Supply Sourcebook. It came out every month, and it was basically just a Christmas catalog for gamers. What I would do is I would reach out to sellers of game content, whether it was like adventures or miniatures or terrain or whatever, and they would advertise in the journal or in the RPG source book, and that was fun, but it was a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work, and it really didn't pay for itself in terms of advertising fees and stuff. So I shut it down after a year, but I'm someone who likes to share things with people, and if something interests me, I will put it out there just because there might be somebody else who finds it of interest. And so the newsletter kind of came about recently because I forget, someone had emailed me and said, "Hey, your source book, you had an advertisement in it, but I can't find it. Can you tell me what the link for it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, let me go see." And I went and I found it for them. And I emailed it, and they were grateful, and they said, "Oh, we missed the newsletter. Really wish you had continued with it. Finding all this new stuff is fun." And it just made me realize that I enjoyed doing the source book. It just took too much time. But I had recently subscribed to a newsletter, and I don't remember whose it was, but I had subscribed to a newsletter, and I was pondering. I was like, I could do this. It's short enough that it could give me an outlet to share the things I find or do, and it's not going to be near as time consuming as the source book was. So this week, I think number 3 of the source book, number 3 of the newsletter released, and it comes out every Monday, and people are emailing me and telling me how much they enjoy it. I've gotten quite a few emails telling me, thank you for doing this, and you're welcome. I even if I only had 10 subscribers, I would do it. Mainly because out of those 10, probably, hopefully, maybe one of those folks will find something that they didn't know about. And it doesn't take me very long to document it, put a hyperlink in it, and share it. So I'm happy to do it. But luckily, the newsletter has been growing. I think now it's up to about 220, 230 subscribers. I'd like it to hit about 1,000, but again, I'm not really concerned about the newsletter in terms of what it brings in. It's a side hustle that is allowing me an outlet to share things with my readers and my viewers. So again, if you want to sign up for it, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll put a link in the video description below. But what I really want to share with you is this. All of the support that I have gotten from my viewers, my readers, like my zine readers, and probably now my newsletter readers, have brought in a certain amount of income that have allowed me to do some new things. Now, right now, when you're watching this, I am filming this on a webcam. It's not a bad webcam, but it's really not good for doing videos because it's just not good high resolution. It's probably a little grainy, and for those of you who've watched any of my videos long enough, you probably know that occasionally it gets trapped in an autofocus thing where it can't figure out what I want to focus. And so I have been wanting to upgrade to a camera, to a DSLR, I can't recall. I am not a camera person, so please forgive me. I have been wanting to upgrade for some time now, and I've been saving little by little with some of the money I make, and I just recently got a DSLR, a camera, a digital camera. I got a digital camera. I have a nephew who is really, really into cameras and photography and stuff. He is coming up to my house to visit me in a few weeks, and he promises he'll sit down with me and he'll show me and help me get this camera set up and ready to go so I can start doing better quality videos. And I can't wait. I mean, I'm really hopeful that the image, the quality of the video will improve.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the tabletop engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
I could not have gotten that camera. I mean, I could have, but it was a major. It was a big expenditure, and I'm kind of surprised I waited this long to do it. But I've upped the videos that I'm doing. I'm trying to play. That's the other thing. Your support, your financial support with my zines and my channel and my laser business, it allows me a certain amount of time during the day to paint and to play games. And I record all this like I'm doing now. And I include this in my, I guess, billable hours or my working hours. And what's really, really cool is now I'm able, with the camera, I'm hoping to do more videos I think the camera may light a fire under me to try to do more videos, more gaming videos, more painting videos, whatever I can. I want to do, and it'll be a better quality, which means maybe I'll get more viewers. I don't know. I have a feeling that I've lost viewers, or people who've watched a few videos may have said no, too low a quality, not interested. Because I know I've watched videos of YouTubers where they were using a webcam, and you just sort of like, ugh, the quality's just not there. Now, I've done it for years and years. I'm not knocking anybody who still does it that way, because I understand investing in a camera is not something you want to do right away, because you don't know if your channel's gonna earn it, right? If it's gonna earn back the money you spend on that expense. But I feel like at this point in time, my channel and my zines have justified the expense. So in a few weeks or so, you should notice hopefully an improvement in the video quality. I also bought this, which is a wireless lavalier microphone, which my nephew recommended. It will connect to the camera and allow me to have, so I won't have to use this external mic, which sometimes it's a good mic, but sometimes I'm not standing facing it where the sound quality is so great. So the lavalier microphone may allow me to do some better quality sound along with the video. We will see. And of course, I want your feedback on all that to tell me if it's working or not. Let's see what else. There was something else I was going to let y'all know. Oh yeah, so the new videos. I'm picking some new games that I'll be playing. The newsletter is allowing me to get some early access to some games, so I can maybe do some reviews, or let you know about some Kickstarters that are coming up that maybe you might be interested in. So definitely subscribe to the newsletter if you're interested in that kind of thing, because I think I can see more of that coming, more game type early reviews, specifically like war games and war games and RPGs. I do like board games. I don't play near enough board games to probably warrant getting some early reviews from game publishers, but I will certainly try. But it's kind of nice. Once you reach a certain point, the game companies start reaching out to you, and that's starting to happen now. I think the newsletter, the channel, the zines, I'm starting to find companies that want to work with me or want to know more about what I'm doing and creating. And so it sort of starts to snowball. Which leads to my last and final thing that I wanted to talk about in this video. Now, the main thing was I wanted to thank all of y'all because, like I said, I've been able to do some upgrades to my equipment. I've been able to buy some storage shelving for more of the games and more of the terrain and things that I'm doing. I finally got my 3D printer sort of fixed. You can't tell, but it's running in the background. Can you hear it? Probably not. It's running in the background right now. I'm printing something called the Stage Top Gaming Table. It was a Kickstarter that raised money for a 3D printed modular gaming table. You can make it as big or as small as you like. You can choose the color of the top tiles. You can choose what style they are, like if they're sci-fi themed or maybe wooden plank themed or fantasy tavern. There's all kinds of neat things. I'm doing that right now. And again, that came from being able to get my 3D printer fixed. It had broken and I hadn't used it in a long time, and I kind of didn't miss it. But then when I saw that tabletop Kickstarter, I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to buy a new 3D printer. But I had the funds that I could make a few calls and order some parts, and I got it fixed. And again, that comes from my viewers and their support. So here is the last thing I want to talk to you about, and I hope this is something of interest to at least one of you, but hopefully a few more. I'm the kind of person who likes to pay it forward, or pay it back. In this case, I think it's paying it back versus paying it forward. So what I want to do is I want to pay back my supporters by doing something that that I hope may be of interest to some of you, not all of you, but some of you. I have had numerous emails over the last few years from people asking variations of the same question. The question is, I want to start a YouTube channel. Can I get some? Can I pick your brain? Or I want to write a zine. Can I pick your brain? I want to start. I want to try and start a side gig with my hobby, and I see you're doing some of that. Can I pick your brain? It's the same type of question, wanting to pick my brain to know how to get into something. And so, believe it or not, I paid someone years ago, and I won't say it was a waste because I did learn some stuff. I paid some individuals years ago some money. It wasn't a lot. I mean, at the time it was a lot. It wasn't too bad given the information I got. But I basically needed some consulting on branding and how do you market, and because I am a dummy when it comes to those things. I don't know much about marketing, and I don't really have the time to spend figuring it out, right? And I'm a one-man army. I don't have a staff of people dealing with my email and dealing with stuff, writing for me, and it's me. And so I understand when someone says, I'm just getting started and I really could use some help figuring out, how to start a channel or how to write a zine. So I've been thinking about lately, how could I help others out there who are viewers of mine or not viewers? I mean, this is got pain on me. This could be something that you can share with a friend who may never have heard of me, but I'm open to it. What I'm thinking of doing very soon, probably in the next month or so, and I've got to figure out how to do it. I'm thinking of streaming on YouTube live a Q&A session where I'll make myself available for, I don't know, 2 hours, 1 hour, just to answer questions. If anybody has questions about anything that I have done or that they've seen me do, if they think I can help them, I'm willing to do it. And I'll tell you the reason why is DM Scotty years ago when I started my crafting channel, he probably doesn't remember this. He might. I sent him, I think it was an email. It wasn't Facebook. It wasn't through Facebook. It was an email. I emailed him and I basically said, hey, I'm going to be starting a crafting channel and I would just want to know, is there anything special I need to know? And I don't remember his exact words. I wish I'd have kept the email, and I probably could find it. It was basically something along the lines of, "Hey man, just do it. Just do it. Don't if you know Scotty, you know what I'm talking about." It was just along the lines of, "Just do it. Just make the video. Don't worry about the perfection of it or whatever. Just shoot your video and put it out there." It was pure Scotty. And if you've watched some of my early videos, that I was going by what Scotty suggested, and no regrets. I mean, he basically kicked me in the rear end and got me going, because I could have sat there for months or even a year pondering all the intricacies and the detail. Do I want to have an intro to the video? Do I want to have a logo? Do I want to have the... He just said, look, just do it. Just make a video and just throw it out there, and you'll figure out how to do things faster. And I think talking to him, the first time I met him, we talked or whatever, and if you watch Scotty's videos, you'll understand. And this is no insult to Scotty. Scotty's videos are very to the point. I mean, he does have some intros and stuff, but usually he gets right down to it. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Here you go. Done. And I think that's why his videos, 600 plus at this point, maybe higher, have been so popular. So, that said, as I mentioned, I want to offer up a chance for people. And, if you just want to chat with me, I'll do something some other time. This is going to be sort of a Q&A session for anyone who is thinking they might want to write a zine. and they want to know some of the ins and outs of how I do it. I will get nuts and bolts. I will answer questions with nuts and bolts answers. Nothing vague. I will go as specific as I can within the time limits, of course. If you want to know about starting a YouTube channel, whether it's crafting or playing games or painting miniature, whatever, I'll answer. I will answer your question. And I'm doing this because I know that when a lot of YouTubers get very popular and they get very large, they're not able to do that because their time is valuable. And if they're not making videos and they're not producing content, they're not getting paid. I'm sort of right there on the middle where I can do it, but I'm getting busier, and I'd rather take this opportunity and help my viewers and my readers where I can now, rather than wait a year or two and say, listen, man, I really can't help you. Or what's worse is, rather than saying I can't help you, the worst thing is emailing somebody and just saying something like, giving them some half answer that doesn't really answer their specific need. I don't want to do that. I would hate to have done that to somebody. So I want to be like DM Scotty. I want to tell you in person, and I guess via YouTube it will be more through the chat. But I will sit there and I will take your questions, and I will do my best to respond to them. Hopefully we only have like maybe 10 people on. I don't know, 20. I don't want to. I mean, I don't know if I can limit it, but I certainly want to be able to answer all the questions. So I'm a little nervous about how many people might show up. But those of you who subscribe to my YouTube or Tabletop Engineer Plays video and my newsletter, that will be where I announce the time and the place. It will probably be on a weekend so that more people will be likely to participate. And I think it'll probably be in the evening. I think most people have better luck in the evening. But I'm willing to take your feedback. Please leave it in the video below, in a comment below if you have any suggestions. All right, well, I cannot finish this guy because right today it is raining outside and the humidity is here in Atlanta. It's not super humid, but it's enough that the paint is not drying fast. All I've got to do now is dry brush the stone with some gray and white, and the stone that he is holding. He's got a gold wrist bracelet that I want to paint, and I want to dot his teeth with some white just to make him stand out, and then he'll be done, and he'll sort of be similar to this guy right here. All right, that's all I have for this painting video. This is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for listening to me, and more importantly, thanks for your support of my zines, of my channel, of my laser business. You all know who you are. Thank you, and look forward very soon to offering up some advice to those of you who might want to try your hand at this business. All right, that's all I got. Until then, everybody, take care.